legalize marijuana in Ohio. The death of a local boy is under investigation.
And in sports, a key member of the Ohio wrestling team received some bad news today. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Results are in from Election Day. We'll get to that later on in our program. Good evening, I'm Carly Bell. Thanks for joining us. The Athens County prosecutor says no evidence has turned up in the rape allegation at Hawking College. In a statement today, Athens County prosecutor Keller Blackburn says the investigation turned up, quote, no evidence to pursue an indictment against the men involved in the August 27th incident at Hawking College. A Hawking College student told police Tuesday that she had been drinking at a party, returned to her dorm room, and awoke in the morning naked and in bed with 5 naked men. Although the woman initially said she was drunk, prosecutors say alcohol was not involved. Blackburn said the college cooperated fully with the investigation. A Nelsonville fire is being ruled arson. The State Fire Marshal's Investigative Bureau is searching for more information about a fire that broke out last night on Whites Road. The investigation is being conducted alongside the Athens County Sheriff's Office. The Blue Ribbon Arson Committee is offering up to $5,000 for any helpful information. And your voices have been heard. Marijuana is still illegal in Ohio. 65% of Ohioans voted against Issue 3, and 63% of Athens County voters said no to the issue. So what's next? Local government expert and Ohio University professor Thomas Suddes thinks the issue could be on the ballot next year.
It's going to start a conversation among Ohioans about medical marijuana for sure. I think that to the extent people were in favor of Issue 3, many of them who were in favor of it were concerned about access for people who were ill or in chronic pain and so forth, for access to medical marijuana. And I think that, I suspect there'll be some attempt to fashion a reasonable, fair, and equitable plan for that.
On issue, if Issue 3 did pass, Ohio would have been the first state to legalize marijuana for both medical and recreational use simultaneously. Ohioans said yes to Issue 2 to prohibit market monopolies, but voted no to Issue 3. So what does that mean since marijuana is still illegal? 52% of Ohioans voted yes and 48% voted no. Issue 2 prohibits any petitioner from using Ohio's Constitution to grant a monopoly or an oligopoly for financial benefits. Even though marijuana is still not legalized, Issue 2 will keep groups from amending the Constitution to create monopolies, oligopolies, and cartels, if it ever does become legal in the future. Athens County residents will have higher taxes soon. Of the 21 proposed levies on the ballot, 18 passed. The 3 levies that did not pass were all for the city of Nelsonville. The City of Nelsonville Electric Aggregation and the City of Nelsonville Gas Aggregation were both rejected and will not be passed within the next year. The City of Nelsonville referendum for property standards was also rejected. The referendum would have required interior inspections for all rental properties and for landlords to pay an annual $50 permit fee. We'll have more on elections from around our region in just a bit, but first, authorities are investigating the death of a 9-year-old boy who collapsed at a youth football practice at Eastern High School. Kelsey Steele is live in the newsroom. Kelsey, what's the latest?
School administrators are now ensuring that counselors are available for staff, teachers, and students of the Eastern community. And just this morning, the flag outside of Eastern Elementary was lowered at half-mast. Now, we spoke to Meigs County Sheriff Keith Wood early this morning, and he assured us that the investigation will continue once the autopsy results are in. And now, Barber was more than just a part of the youth program at Eastern. He served as the water boy on Friday nights for the varsity football team. Quarterback Jet Facemeyer expressed his gratitude for Barber's help on the gridiron week in and week out. He was an important part of that Eagle family. And the Barber family has received an outpour of support from the community. Facebook is flooding with responses from all over southeastern Ohio, and now free helmet and car decals are available for the community. And last night, a GoFundMe account was also set up to help with funeral expenses for the family. Now, if you would like to show your support, you can go ahead and head over to our website where we do have the GoFundMe link posted. And as the weeks go on and we do get developing information, stay tuned to our website and we'll be sure to have you updated. Carly?
Thanks a lot, Kelsey. We'll have an update for that story on Gridiron Glory. Gridiron Glory will air this Friday night at 11:30.
Well, the heat was on today in most of the region. We approached record highs, and we'll have more about that in the almanac in the main weathercast, but it was a warm day, folks, and we are approaching those records in some spots in our southern counties. We have 72 in Athens right now, a northerly wind at 1 mile an hour, dew points at 58. Humidity at 63%, our barometric pressure steady at 30.20 inches. Around the region, the cool spot, 69 degrees in Columbus. It's 75 still down in Ironton and 76 in Huntington, West Virginia right now. So we are seeing warm temperatures, very warm for this time of year. As we take a look at the current weatherscape around the country, you see a cold front is approaching. I'll have more about that in the main weathercast. Also, a big winter storm is brewing in the Rocky Mountains. We'll have all of that coming up in the main weathercast as you look at hour by hour. 61 at 9 o'clock, and we've got 54 degrees by 3 in the morning, so it's going to be a nice evening as well, Carly.
Thanks a lot, Jeremy. City Council President Andrew Ginther will become Columbus's first new mayor in over 15 years. He was clearly leading in the vote count when his challenger, fellow Democrat and Franklin County Sheriff Zach Scott, conceded last night. Ginther had boasted a fundraising advantage and endorsements from the Franklin County Democratic Party and dozens of current and former Democratic officials, including current Mayor Michael Coleman. Ginther says he'll work to build on Coleman's legacy. And in Kentucky, it was a GOP surge with a Republican governor and state auditor. Matt Bevin is the second Republican governor in 40 years. Bevin defeated Democrat Jack Conway with 52% of the vote. Democrat Andy Beshear was elected as the Attorney General by a slim margin. He was also one of the few Democrats that won a state office. Allison Lundergan Grimes was the other Democrat who took a state office as the Secretary of State. Republican Mike Harmon is the new state auditor, and Republican Ryan Quarles is the Agriculture Commissioner. Hard Rock Exploration has received a state permit to drill a test well in the Rogersville Shale in Putnam County. The Department of Environmental Protection approved the permit for the vertical test well just south of Winfield's town limits. The Rogersville Shale underlies parts of southwestern West Virginia and eastern Kentucky and ranges from 9,000 to 14,000 feet underground. Cabot Oil and Gas drilled a test well in Putnam County in 2014, just northwest of Hurricane. The presidential race continues. Two candidates in the GOP are neck and neck, and American investors are going to an unlikely country to find new opportunities. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
I decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station. My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
national poll shows Donald Trump and Ben Carson are running neck and neck in the Republican primary. The Quinnipiac University survey found Trump has 24% support compared to Carson's 23%. Marco Rubio comes in next with 14% support, followed by Ted Cruz with 13% and Jeb Bush with 4%. Among Democrats, Hillary Clinton has maintained her hefty lead with 53% backing compared to 35% for Bernie Sanders. The worst news for Clinton comes in a head-to-head with Carson, where she trails 50% to 40%. Cuba is putting out the welcome mat for a new guest, America. The island's communist government is holding its annual fair for international investors. And this year, for the first time, U.S. investors are there looking for a piece of the action, as CNN's Patrick Ottman reports.
At Cuba's yearly foreign investment fair, officials declare the island is open for business. Cutting the red tape that surrounds trade with the communist-run island will be more difficult, but as relations improve with the United States, many international investors are racing to get their foot in the door. Ahead of the pack for the moment is Sprint, whose CEO came to the fair to sign the first agreement between the Cuban government and a U.S. phone company that allows roaming on the island.
I'm a big believer that eventually Cuba will open up, and once Cuba opens up, this will be the hottest place in the world that every single American, I think, is going to want to come see, Cuba.
The sense of, greed is palpable at the trade fair, with companies from 70 countries trying to break into the tightly controlled Cuban market. For 6 days at the fair, the Cuban government peddles an alternate version of the island, where shelves are fully stocked and wireless internet is everywhere. At the area for U.S. companies, American brands once banned in Cuba are on full display. There's plenty of excitement over the loosening of some U.S. restrictions on trade with Cuba. Changes authorized by President Obama allow more investment by U.S. telecom, agriculture, and medical companies. But major obstacles still loom.
Many of the American companies here can't fully invest in Cuba until the U.S. trade embargo is lifted. So for at least the moment, it's an opportunity to make contacts, strategize, and get ready for the big day.
The U.S. Secretary of Commerce told CNN during a visit to Havana last month that American companies need to decipher the mysteries of doing business with their former Cold War enemy.
How does the free trade zone work? How does the port work? How can we do more business there? Can I lease land there? These are all the things that we as the government are trying to understand so we can help our U.S. businesses so they don't come here completely blind.
Back at the trade show, Cuban-American businessman Saul Barenthal shows off a tractor he hopes to soon manufacture and sell in Cuba.
Having been born in Cuba, this is the opportunity to come back to the country where I was born. And it is the opportunity, given that they are allowing us to do business here, is to perhaps recoup some of the losses that we had when we had to leave because of the revolution.
How much of that optimism will prove true is anyone's guess. But many potential investors in the emerging Cuban market say they are ready to take the risk. Patrick Ottman, CNN Havana.
On Wall Street today, national stocks are up, but regional, along with some major stocks, took a hit. Here's a look at stocks of local interest. If you drink soda, you'll want to stick around. We have the latest on what soda can do to your health. That story's still ahead.
And stick around to see if the warm weather will be coming back for the weekend. We had sunshine on our shoulders today. Will we catch some more rays this weekend? I'll have all the details coming up next on Newswatch. Stay with us.
I support one student in college with a scholarship. Just the way I want to pass on a legacy of education. I would like to pass PBS on to the next generation. I like to think that PBS is concerned with our soul. If your soul is in the right place, you're in giving back.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Good evening and welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Jeremy Ludeman. Boy, oh boy, a tremendous day throughout southeast Ohio, northeastern Kentucky, and western West Virginia. Well, looks like we'll just keep moving here. We've got 72 right now here in Athens. We've got a slight northerly wind, ever so slightly at 1 mile an hour, dew points at 53, 63% humidity. We have had the barometric pressure bouncing up and down a little bit today, but it's steady right now at 30.20 inches. Let's take a look at the current temperatures around the region. We've got 69 in our state capital of Columbus, all the way down to 75 in Ironton. So northern counties a little cooler, and we're warmer in our southern counties. 72 New Lex, 73 in New Martinsville. On the northern panhandle, Wetzel County, 74 in Marietta and Ripley right now. Let's take a look at the almanac. 78 our high today. Normal is usually 70. Our record in 2003 was at 80. Low this morning, 43. 4 degrees above average. 17 is the record, and we lose 2 more minutes to the winter solstice tomorrow. That's when we reverse it and we'll start gaining sunlight back. As we take a look at the precipcast for overnight, you see this cold front is lining up to the west with 3 low pressure systems moving through Minnesota and the upper Midwest. That's going to progress our way as we look tomorrow night. You see that we are going to have the front move closer now over Iowa, approaching Chicago and Lake Michigan tomorrow night. And as we look towards Friday, bingo! The front right over the state of Indiana, about to approach Dayton at 1 o'clock, about lunchtime on Friday. That's going to move through and give us rain on Friday. Let's take a look at the overnight lows, shall we? Mid-50s everywhere, and we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy this evening. As we take a look at tomorrow, mid-70s, we're going to have a partly to mostly cloudy day as well. Northern counties a little bit more mostly cloudy, and we're going to have partly cloudy the further south we go. Friday, rain. 73 in Newark, 74 Ripley, 74 Marietta, Wetzel County, New Martinsville, 74 Chillicothe at 72, state capital of Columbus at 73 degrees. Tonight in Athens, we have 54, partly cloudy skies, a warm evening and calm winds. 57 at the bus stop tomorrow morning, mostly cloudy skies, areas of fog, light southerly wind, and we have a high of 74, unseasonably warm, partly cloudy, and let's look at the 7-day. 73, there is our rain on Friday. Cold front marches through. There you go. The cold weather. We've got 56 on Saturday, lows in the 30s, possible freeze or frost. Saturday night, Sunday morning, and Monday we have a high of 56. Next chance of rain, except for Friday, will be on Tuesday with a high of 58. We'll send it over to sports with Anthony Alaco.
I'm Anthony Alaco, and Ohio football takes the field again tonight for the first time in a while. I'll preview their matchup, plus, for one local high school football program, excitement for the fans came from an unusual source. All that and more next on Newswatch.
She hopes her grades and talent.
Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Granddaughter is named June Elizabeth, but I call her Junebug. My hope is to teach her about kindness and about the love of animals and nature. I want Junebug to have the same opportunities I had by watching PBS. My husband and I feel so strongly about our PBS station that we've included them in our estate plan. PBS is part of our values, and we want to pass it on to the next generation.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Welcome back, I'm Anthony Alaco. Federal Hawking Lancers had a tough season on the field, but there was no shortage of excitement. One member of the Lancer Band has a special talent that impressed the fans out in Stewart. WOUB's Rachel Walbrown has the story.
For 14 years, Marina Scott has been perfecting her talent, and now as a junior, she takes her passion for twirling to the 50-yard line every Friday night.
I started twirling around the age of 2. I went to my first competition when I was 3, where I basically fell in love with the sport, and here I am.
Her success can be partially attributed to her mother, who has always pushed her to improve. So in the 8th grade, Scott began twirling fire.
It's just something the feature twirlers do. It's a great crowd pleaser. So I think we got the first year of marching band under her belt in 7th grade, and then in 8th grade, we've had every year. My goal was to add something more. So I said, okay, let's do fire. And she's like, what fire? No. So, but once she did it one time, she was hooked.
Scott now twirls 3 fire batons at every game.
She has an element that is so unusual for high school bands.
But the glitz and glam of Friday night can't happen without hard work and long hours spent practicing. Scott's drive to succeed paid off in April when she and her teammates represented the United States and Italy. They won the gold after competing against 21 other countries. She hopes her grades and talent will allow her to perform in front of bigger crowds at the collegiate level. But for now, it's all about the small school atmosphere and Friday night lights.
Thanks for that great story, Rachel. Ohio Wrestling's redshirt senior Taiwan Claxton's appeal for a 5th year of eligibility was denied by the NCAA this afternoon. Last season, Claxton was 27-5 and just 1 win away from an All-American honor. He placed 4th in the 149-pound weight class at the MAC tournament a year ago. Claxton took to Twitter saying, quote, "That's all she wrote, people. It's been a good ride." Off the mat and to the turf, the Ohio Bobcat football team is back in action tonight on the road at Bowling Green. The Bobcats enter the matchup at 5-3 after dropping their 2 most recent games. The Bowling Green Falcons have posted a 6-2 record and have won 5 straight. Bowling Green is undefeated in conference play and currently lead the MAC East. The Bobcats will be faced with the tough task of slowing down the Falcons' offense led by quarterback Matt Johnson. Johnson is second in the country with 3,321 passing yards. The senior QB has also posted a 29-3 touchdown to interception ratio. Kickoff from Doyle L. Perry Stadium in Bowling Green is set for 8 p.m. Over to the NHL, where the Columbus Blue Jackets were back in action for a late game against the San Jose Sharks. A big second period helped the Jackets come out on top for their 3rd win of the season. 3 second-period goals propelled Columbus to a 5-2 victory, improving their record to 3-10. Ryan Johansson was key for Columbus with 2 assists and a face-off win percentage of 53%. 5 different Jackets scored on the night, and Sergei Bobrovsky was key in the net for the Jackets with 41 saves on the evening. Columbus moves on to face the Kings tomorrow night in Los Angeles. I'm Anthony Alaco, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Carly.
Thanks a lot, Anthony. As if you need another excuse to eat that leftover Halloween candy, today is National Candy Day. Candy is a broad term that includes everything from chocolate and licorice to marshmallows and sour candy. Unwrap your favorite one today and enjoy. My favorite candy happens to be that Sour Patch Kids, so I'm probably going to be celebrating a little bit later today, but maybe I'll get some Reese's Peanut Butter Cups as well. Now, speaking of sugar, new research has revealed yet another reason to cut down on the soda. It might contribute to heart failure. Holly Furfer explains in today's Health Minute.
It's no secret that drinking too many sugary soft drinks can lead to weight gain, tooth decay, and other health problems. Now there's more bad news for soda sippers. A new study in the British Medical Journal says men who drank just 2 sweetened drinks per day had a 23% higher risk of going into heart failure. Researchers came to that conclusion by monitoring the food habits of 42,000 Swedish men. Heart failure happens when your heart isn't strong enough to pump enough blood and oxygen to support your body. The researchers warned they only studied men between the ages of 45 and 79, so the findings may not apply to younger age groups or to women. According to a study in the journal Circulation, sugary drinks may be linked to an estimated 184,000 adult deaths each year worldwide. Health experts recommend limiting your soda intake by switching to water, seltzer, or unsweetened tea. For today's Health Minute, I'm Jennifer Whalen.
Now let's head over to Jeremy for one last look at weather.
Thank you very much, Carly. We have 54 degrees tonight in Athens, a partly cloudy sky, northern counties mostly cloudy, a warm evening with calm winds. As we take a look at the bus stop, the kids tomorrow morning, 57 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, areas of fog possible. Especially in the hollers and also near the river valley. So Marietta, Ironton will be looking at a little bit of fog. 74 tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, unseasonably warm, and we have a light southerly wind. 7-day forecast, we have a 74-degree temperature tomorrow. As I mentioned, here comes the rain, that cold front marching from Illinois and Indiana towards our way. 70%, 73 the high, and that cold front remarkably brings down our temperatures. We go all the way down to 56 on Saturday, 54 on Sunday. Another chance of rain coming our way on Tuesday with a high of 58, lows in the 30s after Friday.
Thanks a lot, Jeremy. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Carly Bell. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime online at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
Decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station. My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.